What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And LeVon Maynard.
Hey, welcome to the show.
What is going on? Welcome to the Monday episode. If you're tuning in, our episodes go Monday and Tuesday are topics. Wednesday is our discussion. We have a really good one with Mike Ware, so definitely tune in for that one. No Ask Us P this Thursday. I'm working on something for the future. And then Friday, the weekly rundown, we'll talk about everything else. So movies, books, games, all that good stuff. But without further ado, I give it to LeVon.
All right, yes, sir. So we have an article today from InfoSecurityMagazine.com. This is from Sarah Cobble. And this one's titled Cyber Skills Gap Linked Breaches. And I think it's something that we've kind of touched on before, but this article is basically describing how there seems to be, a skill gap within the cyber community. Article mentions like most organizations have suffered a data breach connected with a shortage of skills in the cybersecurity industry, according to new research published today. And this is from, I guess, Fortinet's 2022 Cybersecurity Skills Gap Report. It says here that most, which is 80% of organizations surveyed from the report, said that they suffered at least one breach that could be attributed to lack of cybersecurity skills or awareness. So it's kind of like it's one of those things that obviously a company that is less skilled or less capable in defending themselves, or like having a workforce that's trained in cybersecurity, is going to be more likely to be affected by cybersecurity incidents. And so, it's obviously just basic common sense, but at the same time, there's obviously a need for cybersecurity, because cybersecurity doesn't get as much, doesn't get as much glory. Cybersecurity kind of works in the background where, like, you don't know about the cybersecurity guys until something breaks, and then then all of a sudden you're pointing fingers like, which one of the cybersecurity guys failed us and didn't, follow through with the proper procedures to secure an environment. But if we are able to skill up people to be able to properly, implement cybersecurity protections, these companies will be less affected. This article actually had some more statistics as well. There's a couple of things I wanted to point out on here. There was one that was mentioning that 87% of organizations surveyed have implemented a training program to increase cyber awareness. However, 52% of leaders believe their employees still lack necessary knowledge. So even with some of the training programs that some of these companies have put their workforce through, they still feel a little unsure, unconfident that they will be able to, maintain their security posture if something were to happen. Then that's kind of concerning. And, but, we talked about it before that there are a lot of organizations out there, a lot of companies that are trying to help these skill gaps and help to make education easier for people to obtain, especially in IT. We've also mentioned some places where they're trying to serve, trying to represent in underserved communities. But until we can kind of get that skill gap closed, this is going to be like a ongoing issue. But let me turn it over to you, Shannon. Let me see what your thoughts are on this one.
So I did have a couple of thoughts, but I want to kind of mention something you did mention, right? Like, when it comes to IT, it always just takes that one time for something to go down, right? Like, you can have the 5 nines, right? So you could have network uptime of 99.999%, 99.999%. But the second they lose that Facebook at work, that's when you hear from it, right? It's crazy. It's ridiculous.
Right.
I'm with you on that, man. Like, hey,
right.
Think about all the other times you've been over here stealing money when you're on Facebook, when you should be doing something else at work, right?
Exactly.
But I digress. So one of the points is the same figure you picked up on, but for different reasons, right? The 87%. Why is it not 100?
Mm-hmm.
Explain that to me, right?
Right.
Why is it not 100? So when you say most 87% of organizations surveyed have implemented a training program to increase cyber awareness, that should be 100%. Right. You're not making them cyber professionals. It's cyber awareness, right? So it's just telling them, don't do this, this, and this. And here's the thing. This is a report. So even though it's the 2022 report, I believe it's facts from 2021, I believe. I think, right?
It would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when you actually go to the report, I think it actually mentions it. But even with that, right? So like if it was in 2021, what was going on in 2021, right? You still have people working from home, right? So like it should have been even more of an emphasis. So if you're telling me in these days and times of working from home, it got up to 87% and it wasn't 100, that worries me even more. Like what was it before COVID hit? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, 100% is what that number should definitely be, right? Even pre-COVID, without the whole work from home thing. Something else, if you actually look at the report they have here, something that did kind of catch my eye was the diversity. There's a part in here about how the cybersecurity workforce is growing, and it says organizations are looking for more diversity, which I picked up on, and I was like, okay, that's good, because now they're realizing, okay, we can't just stovepipe it to, only certain people, like, that they may have been looking for in the past, right? Like, okay, we're not going to get all the Harvards, all the, Stanfords and all that, right? So now let's start going to some of these other people that may not have degrees from these certain places. Because one of the things they said here, despite the challenges or perhaps because of it, 3 out of 4 organizations implemented formal processes to hire more women, and 9 out of 10 actively engaged women and new graduates during the last 3 years. So the new graduates thing is something different as well, right? Because every job rec you look for, like, what do they want? They want 5 years experience, right? Like,
right.
New graduates don't have that. Like, they're fresh out of college, right? Fresh after getting some of that college debt. But those are the 2 things that really kind of stood out to me that kind of caught my eye. But yeah, you made me talk about that 99.999% there, LeVon.
Absolutely.
But Ryan, what's your thoughts on this, man?
I completely agree. It should definitely be 100%. Like, what, I don't understand the stat. Like, but there's always a degree of difference, like where they overlap, but that's a big like gap right there. And I guarantee you it's improved since COVID. It was worse before COVID, most likely. Because people took work home to the Wild Wild West, where their house was not secure at all. And then companies had to quickly come up with a game plan and get people trained up the best they could. But my gripe is with the training. Stop PowerPointing people to death. It's not sticking. It's just that people don't care at that point. You know how many times I've taken what we call the cyber awareness challenge? I don't even have to watch the course anymore. I just answer the answers. Like, but obviously it's different, right? I am a cybersecurity professional. I've been doing IT for a long period of time. But now that I've begun to do the physical security aspect of working for my company, because I had to, they voluntold me. People aren't getting it. Now I can tell. Like, they're bringing in fitness rings and things of that nature. And then when you challenge them on it, they were like, oh, I didn't know that's the way it worked. Like, they own devices. They don't quite grasp the security incidents or the vulnerabilities they're bringing in with them. And it's not because they're not intelligent people. Like, they understand how many things work. Like, they have a very technical job doing something different. Is that they have not been, it's not been given to them in a practical way. Like, hey, listen, these are the things that you may have on your body, and this is what could be, cause issues, as opposed to talking about, if somebody steals your phone, this is what you do, yada yada yada. Anybody out here stealing phones? So it's like, you have to make it practical, in my opinion, and then that will probably shore up a lot of this. And then my last part of this rant that I'm going on is everyone doesn't need a degree to do IT or cyber. Like, so as a degree holder, I got that after I've already learned how to do my job. I've already been doing IT for 19 years. I've been doing cyber for almost half of that time in some aspect of the 8 domains. I didn't have a degree, and I did it anyway, and I did it successfully, and most people can as well. So that whole thing, well, we can't find enough qualified candidates, I think kind of goes out the window when other organizations have been doing it with people without degrees for a very long time now. Like, grow that at home, and then you could probably shore up some of these gaps, and you won't have this issue. But that's just my 2 cents, right?
I like it. I like it.
You gotta be aggressive with these people, right?
But let me ask you something, right? So, like, doing your physical security, like the stuff that people aren't supposed to have in, like, do you guys not have signs posted to
We
them?
we d- we
You know
do,
what
but
I mean?
they never keep up with the times, right? Like, so on the signs you have two ways, and you know what I mean?
Like, what's a
Cell
pager?
phone,
What's a
cell
pager?
phone, cell phones, radios, things of that nature. But like one of the things we identified were people had medical devices. So medical devices are not identified. Like, we're not talking about your fitness rings on, like the physical rings on your finger, not the on your watch, but like literal rings that track your stats, pacemakers, freaking earphones, or not earphones, uh
Hearing aids is what you're
hearing
talking
aids. Hearing aids also, like there's brands come out there that have Bluetooth, so people can listen to music as well through
Mm.
them. So like we're not keeping up with that per se across every organization. And these are things that you can use to give them practical experience. Like, hey, listen, the thing that you have on you has these type of vulnerabilities, and this is why we can't have them in certain areas. And like hearing aids, like of course, like take that with you. But and pacemakers, like I can't tell you to check that at the door. But things like the rings and the other watches and things of that nature, they're just not. They're not thinking of it in a practical way. Because once you explain to them, like, oh, okay, that's the same as having my cell phone on me, because it's a two-way device that's trying to communicate with my cell phone that's outside of the secure area.
So and like another one is the for diabetes, they have the insulin pumps.
Insulin.
That's another one. Yeah. But like I think it's a matter of the facility that you may work in on how that actually works, right? Because like the facility I work in, like and maybe they update the signs more because of what's in there or whatever, but like stuff like that. Our sign is like full of stuff that you just cannot have, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And like when it comes to medical devices, people are briefed on that, you know what I mean? Like, hey, we're not saying you can't have them. We just need to know different specifications and things like that to get approval for you to come into.
Right.
You know what I mean? So again, because of what we do and how often it's stressed, I think that's depending on the environment you're in, on how, I don't want to say how important it is, but like how much it's actually emphasized,
Right. How much they scrutinize the product.
Right. But you're in that position of power now to make that decision. You know what I mean? So
I don't like it.
Another few months anyway.
I don't like it. How many doors they leave open? No, but it's another domain, right? So I'm learning some new stuff I didn't know before. But I thought this was a great discussion. Like we'll keep this up. So definitely tune in tomorrow's episode where you hear me go on another rant when we're talking about cybersecurity and what have you. So I want to allude to the next episode. I want you to listen. This whole week is really good. So definitely tune in throughout the week. Hit up the all the social medias. Continue to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You can hit me up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, and TikTok. And you, LeVon?
Yes, sir. You can hit me up on the Twitters at LeVon Maynard.
There it is. Stay safe. Stay secure.
Take care.